didn't. So and what I mean by that is I started making candles as a hobby, and I had a blog. I started a blog about like home decorating because I think I'm a bit of a DIY whiz. I'm actually not good at it at all. But a part of that came out of that was me learning to make candles as part of a feature I was going to do for a blog. And the candle making stuck more than my DIY. And a friend of mine, because I kept giving her my candles because I was running out of space at home. And she said, Astyn, these are really good. You should sell these. I was like, no one's going to buy candles I make in my kitchen. Stop. But I happened to be snowed in from work one day because I was living in Ipswich and I was commuting to London every day. And I just couldn't get to work. So I'm at home shopping on Etsy. And if you're not familiar with Etsy, it's a shopping place. It's an online marketplace for handmade businesses and small businesses. And I was like, I wonder, how much would it cost to set up an Etsy store? And it kind of ran from there. So literally by that weekend, I had an Etsy store, and I came up with the name the Home Jewels Company because I was making candles in vintage glassware. So that's how the business started. All the candles were in vintage glassware. And I was like, oh, they're like little gems for your home. I went through this, and this again all stemmed from my attempts to host a blog. So I'm very focused on just kind of natural kind of like home remedies, just because I have asthma, I have really bad eczema, and I'm just allergic to most things in general. So I have to be very conscious about what I eat, what products I introduce into my home, because one simple thing could result in me having a severe asthma attack or a crazy rash. So some of my friends tease me because I'm a little holistic lady, but I always feel like there is a natural product for most things that we use in our home. And after a bit of research, I found a lot of candles that we buy in store today are produced with carcinogenic products. And even though they're in small quantities, if you're a regular candle burner, quite high up on home fragrances, even if you're not using candles, but maybe air fresh, all of these things are releasing chemicals into your home. And these are the things that you're breathing in. And especially if you work in a city, you think about how much pollution you inhale. I think at least if you're at home, you should have fresh air in your home as well. So by being able to produce a product that is low toxic and our essential oil range is completely toxin free, I think that is a nice way to improve some of the air quality in your home. And even though it's a small change, I think it's a simple change that everyone can make whilst introducing kind of new solutions into their home. The feedback, I really do. It sometimes, it feels a bit silly to say, but I'm very grateful for anyone that, whether you're spending £5 or £50, you're taking your hard-earned money and investing that into my business. And every time I get a sale, I just kind of sit there and I smile, because you don't have to. You've chosen to invest in me. And even I get emails from customers and like, hey, I received your product. It smells great. And that's just brilliant to hear. So that is the thing I enjoy the most. That's that. I'm not the most organized of people. and that's been a challenge, especially if I think about my day-to-day, especially before COVID. So I'd wake up at 5:30, leave the house for 7, start work at 8, and then I get home for about maybe 6, 7 o'clock at night. And then by the time you get home, like most people, I just want to sit and watch television. That's my evening. But it's finding that motivation to kind of push through that tiredness or whatever that day to carry on. So having to set myself a schedule. And when I get into a routine, as my business develops or sales pick up for a season, it's then having to further adjust that schedule. So especially now, I think some of the challenges that I've found is managing my stock, let's say. So a friend of mine, she's a bar manager, and she's been giving me tips on how to now manage my inventory, because I've been a bit slack with that, if I'm honest. So because I was probably generating fewer orders than what I have been now, I could be a bit more loose with, you know, kind of keeping up to date with stock. But especially what I noticed on Saturday, I sold a lot of products I didn't have. So, you know, and then I was having to quickly make more stock to make sure I can stay on top of my delivery time. So organization is always at the top of my list, how to improve that. And because I know that that's not a skill that I naturally, I'm leaning on the experience of the group of individuals I have around me, and everyone's knowledge base and skill set is relevant in some way or another. So my friend that manages a bar, you know, she does that twice a week. So she's been talking me through how to set up inventory checklists and how to scan that. Another friend, she's a sales manager, you know, she's given me her own kind of tips and ideas there. So it's being able to really take advantage of the knowledge base of the people around me and help use that to further develop in the areas where I struggle. I'm really lucky that I have a manager who knows that I run a business and gives me the freedom to kind of pursue those areas. My boss actually helps me with a lot of my events. If anyone has ever visited a Home Jewels Co. Market stall, you'll see my friend with me. That's my boss. He's there with me. So I'm fortunate that I work in a business that takes into account that I do have kind of other areas going on. And as long as the quality of my work, my day job doesn't slip, they allow me the flexibility to pursue other areas of interest. So I think that's what's helped me balance that. It's just having an open dialogue with the people I work with. Honestly, I find that really hard to say. I think the one thing that I've always wanted for myself is to be self-sufficient. So being able to own my own home and being able to run my own business, even if I just had a market stall and you could find me every Saturday and Sunday on my little patch, I would be very happy doing that. And, you know, they're not big dreams. Some people want to be rich and famous. I'd really just enjoy working for myself. So it's a small goal, but that's my goal. Ooh, learning how to, I think, streamline and kind of building off of the skills I have. So, for example, what's a good example? So I'm a massive couch potato. I shouldn't admit it, but I am. I'm a huge couch potato. But if you're sat watching television, you don't have to only do that. So if I'm sat watching telly, I've learned that I can use that time and I can set up my social media content for the month, just sat on my phone. You know, you don't have to grab your laptop and sit in a quiet space. You can do most things on your phone. So it's setting up automation processes to make my time a little bit smoother. So I've also learned to, I think, reach out to people a little bit more as well and kind of build off of the network of people I'm around. So those are a few, I think, new skills that I've developed or redeveloped during this time to still allow me to live life like I normally would or would like to, but, you know, grow as a business owner at the same time. I think you have to be very serious about your goals. I meet and speak with a lot of people who, just yesterday I had someone email me and said, hey, I'd like to start a business, a candle business. Where do you buy your packaging and stuff like that? And even though it's a fairly simple question, for me it shows a lack of research. And, you know, and I think if you're going to start a business, you have to be really invested in it, because I work harder at this element than I would in any day job I've ever had. It takes more out of me. You know, when I wake up at 5, I start working at 5:30. It's no longer I pot around the house. I wake up with intention, and I can work right up until 3 a.m. and then do it again. You have to be willing to put everything every part of yourself into it, and be willing to sacrifice as well. You know, I miss out on a lot of social events. I don't get to see, you know, my friends and family as much as I want to, because there's something that a little bit greater that I'm trying to achieve right now. And I think if you're not prepared to make those sacrifices, it'll always be an uphill. It'll always be an uphill battle. That's the experience I've had. You can make money back. I feel like any investment, you know, it's, if you lose a bit of cash, you can make it back, but you want to make sure that you're spending your time wisely, because that's what gets you to where you need to be. Even though I say I'm procrastinating and I'm a little bit lazy, I've learned to utilize my working hours to my benefit. So it's no television, it's no phone calls, it's no going out. You have to sit and really just kind of put your head down and get on with it. And I think more so when running a side business, you have to be able to have that mental split where you can just shut off for a couple of hours and crack on. So I definitely think that is one of the most important things, and it's one of the challenges that I've faced, but will help you as you develop. The Home Jewels company offers a wide range of organics, scented soy candles and wax melts. They're all handmade and sometimes produced to order. You can buy them on Etsy by searching for Home Jewels Co., or on our website specifically at homejewelsco.com. Check us out on Instagram. We're always running promotions. Sometimes we do a free giveaway, domestic UK delivery for all orders over £30. So it's definitely worth checking us out. And to kind of dip your toe, let's say, we offer sample boxes. So you can buy a box of soy candles that include 5 miniature candles for £6. Or you can buy a box of 10 wax melts for $15, and they allow you to sample our range of sweet, fresh, and masculine scents at a discounted rate, just to really help you kind of identify what scent might suit you, but also get a feel for the Home Jewels Co experience, as we call it.